Hey everyone, this is Austin-Sensei, and welcome back to another video of Slime. And this is episode 12, and before I begin, I wanted to say for next week, since it is going to be Christmas coming up, I will not be reviewing the next episode for simple reasons. I want you guys to enjoy your Christmas, but anyways, let's get on with this review. So, we start off in the beginning with, Treyni asking Rimuru to slay the Orc Lord, and we see Ben actually step in to protect Rimuru, and I kind of like that because it kind of shows that the Onis, I know they're Kaijin, I'm not going to say that because I refuse to, for the simple fact I don't trust Crunchyroll ever usually, but anyways, I like to see this kind of relationship between them. They're kind of like really good friends, and it just, I don't know, it makes me feel at ease, I guess, but we see that the Treyni's village is actually in the path of the orcs, where they're going to be going through, and the forest, she's a forest spirit, and she basically knows when stuff is going on in the forest, no matter what, and they're kind of like the guardians of the forest, basically, her race, and it's basically if she sees something, it's actually there. It's going to be there, it's real, it's not a made-up story. So, Rimuru responds to her question and saying that he needs more time to think about it, and we see her stay at Rimuru's meeting, and we see that Sao, I know I can't pronounce his name, so I know someone in the comment section always has to say it, found nothing at his village, and it's actually because of this ability that the Orc Lord gave to his subordinates, basically, and it's called Starved, which allows them to eat the victim and retain their strength and abilities. And this is kind of what they're doing. And this is kind of interesting because this actually goes to the lore of orcs. That's what they do, and that's kind of why I always like this series. It goes to its realistic point of what, the lore to each monster is. And like goblins, they're weak, unless they're hobgoblins. And we all saw the first episode of Goblin Slayer, so we don't need to say anything more. But we see that the orcs are basically, their main mission is to gain power because they have this endless hunger, and they're trying to feed this endless hunger, which is basically just to cause destruction. That's what the Orc Lord is there for. And basically, we see that Treyni confirms that the Demon Lord's subordinate is behind the Orc Lord. And I know there's a lot of lords here, but we see that Treyni asked good old Rimuru again, and we see Sinon agree to that because, she's confident that he can do it. But going further, Rimuru actually agrees to it, and as I said, I like to see the Onis and Rimuru's kind of interaction, and it's really hilarious because they kind of just really connect so well, and it's enjoyable. But we see that Rimuru actually now is considering the alliance with the Lizardmen, and we see Sao is going to go talk to the chieftain of the Lizardmen to form an alliance. Then we cut to Gabiru waking up from his defeat, and if you didn't know, I'll throw this in. Gabiru's voice actor is the same, I think, as Kazuma from Konosuba, so if he sounds familiar, there you go. But Gabiru thinks that Gobara is the real leader of the village, and I couldn't stop laughing, like, no, you're just really weak, buddy. He's a hobgoblin, You're not going to be able to defeat him that easily, but we see Laplace show up, and he's the servant of the Lord Goldenmud, which is going down the chain of everything, he's the Demon Lord's kind of subordinate. Laplace tells Gabiru about the Orc Lord and how, he should be the chieftain, and kind of speeding up this entire thing. Basically, he's setting up everything to be easier for the orcs to get through. And if you don't notice, Gabiru is kind of a idiot, as Rimuru puts it, because he's not very trustworthy. And in a battle, you can have people that are confident, but when you're overconfident, it can lead to like horrible losses in war. And we've actually seen this stuff throughout like history. And go look up a couple battles. Quite interesting, but nonetheless, we continue with Sao showing up to, talk to the chieftain of the Lizardmen. And it's kind of funny because these Lizardmen are scared of him. And they're kind of like, ooh, he's kind of a monster. I'm like, yeah, most of Rimuru's big six, and if you don't know, that's actually the Onis, and you're going to see more show up. They aren't someone to mess with. They're kind of like, as I said, this anime is literally a parody of good old Overlord, and this is why I enjoy it. Because Overlord's actual light novel isn't that bad, but the anime could improve. I know people get very irritated each time I bring this up, but it's true. I think it could be better, but this is the anime that does it well, and I enjoy this anime. But continuing on, I'll talk a little bit more about everything at the end. We see that Sau is talking to the chieftain for the alliance, and basically he agrees to it with the condition of to meet Rimuru, and basically he tells the chieftain, Sau, not to attack. He wants them to defend themselves if they needed to, but don't go on a full-out assault. And we see that the Lizardmen are actually fighting the orcs, and this is Gabiru's crew, and we see Gabiru return and basically talks to his father, the chieftain, and says, hey, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to stand by and defend ourselves, and he's not having it, so he overthrows his father. And we see Gabiru take his father's position and hit the vortex spear, and I'm just like, ooh. Then he starts an all-out assault on the orcs and the marshland, and he didn't realize that the orcs have the ability to eat their own corpses and gain more strength. And this is just, I love how close they're going to this manga. It's just so good, such a good anime, and I can't recommend this anime more than enough. I know Mother's Basement loves this anime. I usually don't agree with everything he has to say, but I have to agree with this one. But overall, going for the final touches, I really like the attention to detail with the orcs, especially the Onis or the ogres, and the goblins. I mean, it's so good. And yes, Goblin Slayer may have a point to, with the goblins. They're realistic, but these goblins in here, whew, yeah. I just like this anime so far, but I really love when people think Rimuru is a weak slime. It's just seeing Treyni, or however you say her name, show up and list everything that he has done and everything he's consumed right in front of everyone, and he's like, whoo, she knows. I mean, this guy is the one that swallowed the dragon. Come on, you can't beat this guy. But overall, I'm happy this is a 24 episode anime. I need to tell you guys, it's 24 episodes. Don't worry. This is going until winter, so I'll still cover that. But anyways, guys, this is the end of the video. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button. If you're new here, subscribe and share this video. Because, we gotta take over YouTube. We're gonna be the best anime community ever on YouTube. There we go. That's the goal. Yeah, instead of eating everyone. Oh God, I'm kidding. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys. Peace.